Welcome. Today's topic is Site Subjects and Sections. Our target audience is staff who will work directly with subjects offered in a site. Prerequisites: please view the District Subjects List webinar. Supporting documentation is in Folder 6 or 7, Site Level Setup Quick Sheets. We will focus on Site Subjects List, Site Sections, Site Section Fields, Site Subject Groups, and assigning teachers to sections. The agenda for today includes the Site Subjects Overview, how to add and maintain subjects and sections, edit field data in the grid, and view and print rosters. The Site Subject List is defined as the subjects offered at a site, which are limited to the subjects previously created in the district subject list. The Site Sections are classes within a subject that are taught during a specific period and is sometimes referred to as the master schedule. Site subjects and sections are found at the building or site level. You must be logged into the applicable site year to view that site's subjects and sections. Most general users are confined to one site and will not need to make any adjustments, whereas central office users will need to click Actions, My Login Site Year, and select the appropriate site year. Access site subjects and sections through View Maintain, Site Class Sections. In this area, you have multiple options for viewing. We will begin by reviewing Subjects and Sections area. Site Sections Enter Selection provides a list of filters which you may use to narrow your view of site subjects, much like the district subject list filters. However, these filters are specific to the site-level subjects and sections. Enter a data value, then click the Update Display button. The Subjects and Sections tab will refresh to display the information matching your data value. You may click the Select View tab again, and then narrow your search even further by adding other filters and clicking the Update Display button again. You may change or edit or add multiple filters to the information you would like to have displayed. If you would like to leave this screen, click the Done button to return to the staff home screen. Under View Maintain, Site Class Sections is another option that will allow you to show all subjects and sections. Subjects and Sections show all. The screen displays all subjects for this particular site. The sections are hidden when you first log in, but may be opened using the expand icon, the plus sign, next to each subject. If there is no plus sign next to the subject, there are no sections present. Clicking the plus sign will display all sections of this subject that are offered at this site. Notice that you may close the subject by clicking the Collapse button, now in place of the Expand button. At the top of the grid, you will notice that there is an Expand All, Collapse All button so that you can open or close all at the same time. Notice here also you have the Select View tab that may be used to filter the sections as shown before. When you are finished with this selection, click Done and return to the home screen. Regardless of the menu item used to view subjects and sections, the grid will be sorted by subject code. You may resort this grid by clicking the header of any column you wish to sort by. The screen will refresh and display the grid with the new sort order. The up arrow in the header indicates that the list is sorted in ascending order. Click the header again to sort the grid in descending order, which will cause the down arrow to display in the header. This is a very convenient way to sort your grid as needed. The grid has a lot of functionality built in. You will be able to select subjects from the district subject list, add sections to any subject, filter using the Select View tab as shown previously, view and print rosters, access seating charts, create a custom view, create templates of those views, print a list of section fields, and do on-the-fly edits of your max class sizes. You can edit section fields, export sections, and access curriculum resources. Let's take a closer look at these items. In the Cite Subjects, you may add a new subject that was not previously offered in your site. Click the Add Subject button. Your screen will refresh to display the subjects in the district subject list. Remember that they are sorted by subject code. You may use your scroll bar on the right side to scroll through the list and find the subject needed. To add the subject, click the selection box on the left side next to the subjects or subjects needed. Click your Done button and the screen will refresh with the subjects to display on your list. When a new subject is added to your Cite subject list, you may edit the properties of that subject. Click the Edit button, which is the pencil icon, for the subject you need to edit. The screen will refresh to display the Cite subject's properties. Most of the properties can only be edited at the district level and will be displayed in gray on the site level to indicate that the field is locked. There are only 3 fields that may be edited from the site level. These are the grade level from and grade level to fields, the preferred max size, and the preferred max size is initially populated from the district subject list as a default and may be changed at the site level. The grade level from to is used by random scheduling to restrict course participation by grade level. Make your edits, click Done, and your edits will be saved in the Cite subjects. When a new subject was added to the Cite subject list, SysK12 also added a section. Expand the subject to see the new section by clicking the plus sign on the left side of your screen. Click the Edit button in this row as well to edit the properties of this section. As you edit the section properties, refer to your quick sheet Cite section fields. The section will be sequenced by SysK12. The first section in the sequence is 01, the next is 02, and so on. However, if your district has imported sections and they did not follow this sequence, you may change the sequence to any unduplicated sequence number for that subject. The start period always defaults to period 1. However, it may be changed to any period available as defined by your attendance site settings. To change the period, you may use the up and down arrow on the right side of the box, or you may manually type in the period that you wish. The consecutive periods defaults to 1. When creating a section that covers more than one period, SysK12 will look at the start and consecutive periods when assigning a schedule. Rather than create multiple sections, you will create one section and appropriately mark the consecutive periods. To better illustrate the consecutive periods section, we'll take a look at an example of a career ed course for auto repair. Though career education courses use this multi-period functionality often, any course within a district that spans more than one period will use this feature. If you expand the section, you will see that the period is listed as 5 by 3. Let's view the properties and look at how the periods are established as 3. When you view this class in the sections grid or the subjects and sections grid, the start period was listed as period 5. The course meets periods 5, 6, and 7, so the consecutive periods is established as 3. When you view this class in the sections grid or the subjects and sections grid, the period will display as 5 by 3, beginning in period 5 and going for 3 consecutive periods. If you opened up and looked at a student's schedule, it would also indicate the 5 by 3. If your site is tracking credits, check to see that these are marked appropriately for the length of the course. The credits should reflect the total credits for this one section. Now that you have a better understanding of consecutive periods, let's move on to Section 2. In Section 2, there is a Section Term Type box. This field cannot be edited as it is set at the district subject level. The day type is selected from the drop-down box. The types available are regular, A day, B day, or C day. The day type should be marked as regular unless you are stacking using A-B type classes within the same period. The days group should be marked as Monday through Friday unless you have classes on different days in the same period. This field will be deactivated when the day type is changed to A, B, or C day. Use the lunch field to give lunch type indicators for split type lunch or lunch periods. These are user-defined, single character lunch code. As an example, A lunch may be from 10:30 to 10:50. The lunch code will be displayed in the schedule. The max size is the default number set in the district subject list. You may edit this number to meet the needs of your site. The max size is a 3-character field. The teacher name indicates the primary teacher. Employees will need the role teacher assigned to them in their faculty and staff record in order to be selected for this box. The teacher marks attendance and controls the gradebook for the section. You may not type in the teacher's name. You must click the Select button. This field defaults to the teacher role. Type in a portion of the teacher's name and click the Search button. If only one teacher matches your criteria, it will fill in the information for you. If more than one teacher meets your criteria, you will be able to select that teacher by clicking the Select button. Once you've made your selection, that teacher's name will appear in the teacher name box. You may also use any of the other fields listed on this screen to search: first name, username, ID, or social security number. If you wish to include inactive staff, you will need to click on the Inactive Staff button. There are 2 other teacher fields on this screen. The first is Substitute Teacher. Substitute Teacher is a temporary assignment. The substitute may mark attendance and have access to the teacher gradebook. This field is generally used for long-term teaching assignments. To select this person, you'll click the Select button. It automatically defaults to the role of Substitute Teacher. For a person to appear in this list, they must have the role of Teacher or Substitute Teacher in their user's permission. Enter any portion of the name and click the Search button. If only one name matches your criteria, it will fill in the box for you. If multiple names are matched, you will be able to use the selection button as we did with the teacher name. You may also not enter any selection criteria and just click the search button. This will bring you a list of all substitute teachers assigned to this site, and you may select from the list then the person that you choose. When the regular teacher returns, you will want to remove the substitute teacher. In order to do this, return to the Site section, go to the Substitute Teacher column, and click the Clear button. This will remove the substitute teacher from the assignment and return the control of the gradebook and the attendance to the classroom teacher. The Special Ed Teacher field is used for a special ed teacher assigned to the same class as a regular ed teacher. This is usually a class within a class situation. In order to select this teacher, they must be marked as a special ed teacher in their faculty and staff record. The regular teacher controls the gradebook for all students in the class. The special education teacher may only mark grades and attendance for special ed students who have an IEP. The room number field is used to display on the student's schedule. Be sure to accurately fill this field in before printing student schedules. The team code should be a 2-digit code. If utilized, the random scheduling process places students into sections with matching team codes. As an example, a team with a 7A would be grade 7, Team A. Use the gender drop-down list for gender-specific classes such as physical education. This will be used to generate a potential errors report for random scheduling. If used for attendance marking is checked on, an attendance roster will be created for this class. If used for grading is checked on, an end-of-term grading roster is created for the class, as well as the teacher's gradebook if purchased. In Section 3, there are 7 override fields for state reporting: state code, state type code, state program code, state sequence code, state testing method, state delivery method, and state minutes per week. If these fields are left blank, the default values in the corresponding fields in the district subject list will provide the state reporting values. Enter values in these state override fields when a specific section deviates from the default values. See the quick reference sheet district subject list for an explanation of these state reporting fields. The Special Ed State Code indicates the state's course number for a special services class within a class course. This will enable state reporting to provide a separate course assignment and enrollment count, including only students with a diagnosis code for the CWC class. The Special Ed Teacher and the Special Ed State Code field allows you to create one section for both special ed and non-special ed students, while at the same time accurately executing state reporting of each educator's course assignments. The Used for ADA and State Calculation of Attendance checkbox allows you to have a class which is used for attendance but is excluded from state average ADA reporting. The fourth section includes the override start date and end date. These fields may be used for classes which do not meet during the regular term. These fields enable the attendance roster during the appropriate date range. The override start and end time fields may be used for adult education classes. The used for course scheduling checkbox is used to prioritize a subject during the random schedule process. The used for schedule building dropdown allows you to hide a section from the interactive master schedule builder or lock a section to a teacher, a period, a term, or a day type in the interactive master schedule builder. Use linked sections to identify two or more sections which should have the same roster of students. Classes are linked for the random scheduling process. To link this class to another class, you will click the Actions button and then Linked Section Setup. Click the Add button, and we're going to use for our example Health and Driver's Ed. All of the students in the first period health class for semester 1 will be in the first period Driver's Ed class for semester 2. So we'll find our first period semester 1 health and then scroll down and find our first period Driver's Ed class for semester 2. We need to type in a brief description. Although this field appears long, you have a limited number of characters, so be precise in your description so that it assists you with scheduling. Click your Done button, and your Driver's Ed Period 1 and your Health Period 1 class is added here. You can remain on this screen and connect your other Driver's Ed and Health sections at the same time. Again, I'll click the Add button. I can type in my description, scroll down and find my Health and Driver's Ed classes. Notice the Period 1 class no longer displays, so I cannot accidentally select it twice. I selected Period 3, Period 3 Driver's Ed. Click the Done button. Now my Period 3 Driver's Ed linked. I can expand the Period 1 and it still displays. And I can do the third class grouping also. Scroll down, find my Driver's Ed Period 5. My Health Period 5. And click the Done button. Now all three of my subjects are linked by period, and when I click the Done button, it will return me back to the Site Section Detail and display the two linked classes. Clicking Done again will return you to your Site Subjects and Sections list. The Linking Sections feature is used by the random scheduling, batch scheduling process and also by SIS K-12's Course Assignment Auto Schedule. When you ask SIS K-12 to attempt to give a student a schedule, it uses this logic. When a student requests a subject with linked sections, the student will get all linked subjects or get none of the linked subjects. Packaging subjects and sections will assist you with scheduling. You can connect sections in your master schedule by either creating team codes or linking sections together. Then, in the subject groups and lists, you'll create package subjects. When you create a student schedule, you'll select the subject the student needs. Then SIS K-12 will help you create the student's schedule, either by using the Course Assignments Auto Schedule feature or in random scheduling, batch scheduling. When it finds a subject that a student requests, it looks at the section that it needs to provide the student with a schedule. When it locates a section that has been connected either from the team code or the linked sections. It will give the student all of the sections for that team or linked sections, or none of them. There is an action button in the navigation bar in the center of the screen that opens to display a submenu, which also displays many other options. These menu items are also available in the Sections Only grid. We will focus on their purpose in that discussion. Let's summarize the two-tier subjects and sections grid. This is the only area where both subjects and sections are displayed. This is the only area where you can add subjects to your site from the district subject list. This is also the only area where you can add additional sections of a subject using the icon shown here. We have just finished our study of site subjects and sections. We will now focus on a one-tier grid that focuses on just the site sections. Click on View Maintain, Site Class Sections, and then you can select Site Sections Enter Selection or Site Sections Show All. We'll select Site Sections Enter Selection. It has a series of filters which can be used to narrow your focus by entering one or more data values. This menu item allows you to filter your list. You can filter by any of the items displayed here. You can select one or more filters to meet your needs. I'm going to select Mathematics, and then in the abbreviated title I'm going to type Algebra. I'm going to click the Update Display button, and then all algebra sections in my site will be displayed. From this screen, you may look at section detail by clicking on the Edit button, or you can click the Select View button, change your filters, and look at other courses. Clicking the Done button will return you to your home screen. Now let's select View Maintain, Site Class Sections, Site Sections Show All. This will display all sections in your site in grid format. It is limited to working with only existing sections. It is the area where you will work day to day for classes taught. Because it does display all sections in your site, it is your master schedule. Since it is a single level grid, it is easier to work with. Each time you enter this area, the columns displayed will be the same. These are the default columns. You may create custom views and load them on an as-needed basis. To load an existing template, you will go to Actions, File, Template, and Load. The screen will refresh and display all templates created to date. To select one of these templates, you will click the Selection button. This will display the columns that you have set up in your previous selections. To create a custom grid, click the Actions button, click the View button, and then click Column Setup and select Columns to display. This will display a list of the currently displayed columns on the left and the fields not shown on the right. The fields are in alphabetical order. Use the scroll bar on the right to search for the fields that you wish to locate to display. The arrows between the two lists are the Add and Remove buttons. The right pointing arrow removes columns from the display, and the left pointing arrow adds columns to the display. The up and down arrow in the lower left-hand corner allows you to change the display order of the fields in the grid. The top to bottom list displays left to right on the grid. Click the item you wish to remove and use the up or down arrow to move it up or down, and then it will display left to right on the main screen. When you locate the field that you wish to have displayed, you will click that field and then click the Add button to move it to the left side of the screen. You will continue clicking and moving items so that your columns are set up the way you wish them to display. To remove a field, click the field you wish to have removed. Then, click the Remove arrow in the center of your screen, and it will then be removed from your display. Clicking the Done button will return you to the display of your new custom grid. To save this custom grid, you click Actions, File, Template, and click Save. The description box is where you will type in the name that you wish to give this new display. You can make this private for your own use, set it up for your building if you have permission, or set it up for your district if you have permission. Click the Done button. My grid template name displays on the right side of the screen, so I know that I'm not in the default grid. Clicking Done returns me to the main menu. Click View Maintain. Site Class Sections. Site Sections Show All. I'm back to my default. To display your custom grid, click Actions, File, Template, and Load. Choose the custom grid you wish to display by using the Select button, and then your custom grid is now loaded and ready for you to begin working. Notice the name of the grid template is located in the upper right corner of your display. Going back to Actions, File, Template, and Load will take me back to the list of templates that have been created. I can select the template, view the template, or edit the template from this list. Any template that is no longer in use can be deleted with the trash can. Clicking Done will return me to my template that I selected to display. Clicking Done again will return me to my home screen. Many of the fields in the Site Sections grid can be edited. In your quick sheet for Site Sections, there is a section titled Edit Fields in Grid. There you will find a list of editable fields. There is a separate quick sheet, Site Sections Fields, which will define each of the fields on the screen. Some of the fields in the list are state override fields, which give you the ability to edit the default values that came from the district level. Such things as attendance marking, grade reporting, and state reporting. Others are associated with scheduling only. To edit in the grid, first click the Edit button. It now says Apply and keeps you in edit mode as long as the Apply is displayed. Find the field in your displayed list that are editable and scroll down to find the field that you want to edit. Then double-click in that cell and type in the change. In our example, let's click in Max Size. We wish to change the max size of this class from what it is currently to 0. This is a planning period. So we want to make sure that no students are accidentally assigned. So I double click in the cell, change the number, click Apply to save your work and continue working. Done saves your work and returns you to the previous screen. In the default view of the grid, there are two columns displayed: number of students and max size. Max size shows you the number of seats that are available in the section. In the number of students column, the current number enrolled is displayed. The numbers are separated by a slash. The number on the left displays the first semester enrollment, and the number on the right displays the second semester enrollment based upon the site's current attendance dates. Students with future enrollment are not included in this count. To view the roster for any class, click anywhere in the line to select that class. When the line turns blue, then click your Actions button, go to View, and select Roster. The screen will refresh to display students alphabetically by student last name. The default view includes grade level. There is a filter on the screen that allows you to change the view of this information. If your school uses an alternating day calendar, Today's Only shows the students in attendance roster for today's date. Full Schedule will display both Semester 1 and Semester 2 students. You may also filter down to Semester 1, Term 1 or 2, Semester 2, Term 3 or 4. The maximum number displays the maximum number of seats in this section. You may edit this field from this screen. If you click the Edit button and you have permission, you may change the max size while on this screen. Click Apply to save your work and stay on this screen. Clicking Done will save your work and return you to the section list. Be sure to click Apply if you are making multiple changes in the grid to save your work. When all changes have been made in the grid, click Done. This will save your work and return you to the home screen. To print rosters for a class, click anywhere in the grid row to highlight it. Then click Actions, Print Reports, Print One Roster Current Section. The Report Selection screen appears and displays today's date and a generic title for the report. You may edit these fields. Then select the type of report. A simple current semester roster shows a one-column roster with record count. Semester 1 and Semester 2 side by side provides a two-column side-by-side roster for both semesters with record counts for each semester. All semester rosters, listed one after another, provides a one-column roster which displays all students for both semesters separated by semester. The Page Breaks box allows you to choose to page break after each roster or page break when the subject changes. This will allow for printing of multiple rosters on one page. The Ignore Empty Rosters box is clicked on by default. Click Start Report. All SIS K-12 reports will display on the screen prior to printing. You may use the scroll bar on the right side of the screen to scroll up and down. If you have multiple pages, the forward and back arrow will take you from page to page. The printer icon will allow you to print the report, and The computer disk icon will allow you to save your report to a selected location. Clicking Done returns you to the home screen. You may also make a selection of rosters to print by holding down the Control key on your keyboard and clicking the selected sections. When all selections are made, release the Control key, then click Actions, Print Reports, Print Rosters for selected highlighted sections. This will again display the report selection screen. You may again edit the date and the report title. You may select the type of report, Simple Current, Semester 1 and 2, or all semesters. The page break may break after each roster or when the subject changes. And again, the default is checked on to ignore empty rosters. The default is by roster, so you will get a separate report for each roster. The page break when a subject change option allows you to print all subjects with the same subject number together. All rosters will print with a total count and a breakdown by male-female. Another option under Actions, Print Reports, State Fields Reports, which will be useful to staff responsible for state reporting fields at the site level. Click the Start Report button. A list of subjects and the columns identifying fields used for state reporting will display. This report will assist you in checking subject information for the cycles requiring the reporting of subject information. At the site level, there are override fields for subject sections which require altering. Instead of checking information section by section, print this report and check it from here. You can print, save, scroll, and click page to page to use this report. Clicking Done will return you to the site class sections. You may also run a lunch load report from this screen. In order to run the report, you must have the lunch code entered for each of the sections affected by lunch. Click Actions, Print Reports, Lunch Load Report. The screen will refresh again showing the date and default title. The option to select course assignments or scheduling requests for next year, the term you wish to select, and if you have a split lunch situations where the lunch shifts fall across more than one period. If your lunch shifts fall within one period, leave this box unchecked. After making your selections, click Start Report. The report will display showing the lunch load numbers by section, maximum seats, and the actual count of students making up that lunch load. Another important feature under the Actions button is Actions, File, Export Class Database. You may easily export the class section data to an ASCII file. This allows you to share class data with other programs. The ASCII file is a standardized format that allows sharing of information. ASCII files can be imported to Excel for ease of use. We will now turn our focus to a more streamlined way of assigning teachers to sections. Rather than assign teachers section by section to classes, there is a feature called Assign Teachers to Sections that is helpful. You can assign teachers, substitute teachers, and special education teachers to classes. Assign multiple sections to one teacher simultaneously, change teachers when there has been an educator reassignment, or remove teachers, substitute teachers, or special education teachers, all in a grid format. The quick sheet, Assign Teachers to Sections, will assist you in using this feature effectively. To locate this feature, go to View Maintain, Site Class Sections, Assign teachers to sections. Each of the boxes across this grid represent a field in the filter to display in the grid. You may enter one or more filters. Then click the Update Display button to refresh the view. For example, Mr. Mathman is leaving the district and a new teacher has been assigned to his class. Type his name in the box above the teacher name box. Then click Update Display. All classes, including his planning period, will be displayed. You will now select the teacher who is going to replace him. This new teacher must already have a faculty and staff record and have the role Teacher checked on. Click the drop-down box above the Teacher column and select the teacher who will be replacing Mr. Mathman. All teachers assigned to this site will be displayed in alpha order. Select the new teacher's name from the list. If the replacement teacher is only taking a few of Mr. Mathman's classes, you would use the selection button on the left side of the screen to select specific assignments for that teacher. If the new teacher is going to take all of Mr. Mathman's classes, you may use Assign to All Displayed Sections button to assign this teacher to all of Mr. Mathman's sections. Be sure to click Apply before leaving this screen to save your changes to the teacher's assignment. This screen is also used for assigning substitute teachers to classes. First, you will enter the name of the teacher who will have a substitute assigned to their section. Enter that teacher's name and click Update Display. The teacher's sections will display. Then you will select a substitute teacher to fill this class. The substitute must have a faculty staff record and have a role of substitute teacher in order to appear in the drop-down list of subs. Then click the drop-down and select the sub from the list. If the sub is covering only selected sections, you will use the selection button to choose the appropriate periods. If the sub will cover all classes, you can click the Assign to All Displayed Sections button and assign the sub to all displayed sections. Be sure to click Apply before leaving this screen. The long-term sub will now have access to all attendance rosters and grade books for the original teacher's classes. When the teacher returns, you will again return to this screen. You will place the regular teacher's name in the teacher name filter and then update the display. In the substitute teacher drop-down box, you will choose the option to clear name. When clear name appears in this drop-down box, you may then click Assign to All Displayed Sections and it will clear the substitute from the assignment. When you do this, the sub's name for all assigned classes will be removed and it will take away access to attendance rosters and teacher's gradebook, returning that to the regular teacher. You may also use this feature to assign special ed CWC teachers. These teachers will have to have a faculty and staff record and need the role of special education teacher marked in their user role. Once this is done, you will again select the regular teacher's classes. Then, in the special ed column, select the special ed teacher for the section. If the special ed teacher is going to be assigned to all sections, you can use Assign to All Displayed Sections. If the special ed teacher is only going to be assigned to the algebra classes, then you will use the selector next to the algebra classes or the sections that the teacher will be assigned to. Make sure that you click Apply to save your work on this screen. In order to remove the special education teacher, choose the Clear Name option from the drop-down. You can use Assign to All Displayed Sections again, or you can use the Selector button to remove the special education teacher. Clicking Done will return you to the home screen. When changes are made on the Assign Teachers to Sections screen, you can also see these changes on the Section Details screen. Click View Maintain, Cite Class Sections, Cite Sections Show All. You can use the filter to find the teacher's name, update display, and then select a section. Notice we have Mr. Mathman still as the regular teacher, and the substitute that we assigned is now displayed in the section detail. You can also use the Assign Teachers to Sections grid to assist you in looking up teacher assignments. For example, if someone wanted to see a list of all teachers in a specific department, they could use the department field to filter that list. Then click Update Display, and all the math teachers would show. We could do the same with sorting by period if we wanted to find all the math classes on the first period. If you wanted to find out what teacher was in what classroom, you could use the room filter and find out who used classroom 112 on which periods during the day. These reports can be printed using the printer icon at the top of the screen. We discussed district subject groups and selection lists in the webinar for district subject lists. Now we will discuss site subject groups and selection lists. These are used by elementary and secondary sites. There are two types. The first can be created at the district level and copied from the district list to the sites. They are created once for all sites and roll over from year to year. The second are created at the site level and do not roll over from year to year. To locate site subject groups or selection lists, click on View Maintain, Cite Class Sections, Subject Groups and Selection Lists. The screen will refresh to display the subject groups and selection lists for the site. These work much like the district subject groups and selection lists, so they will be easily created. There is a quick sheet titled Site Subject Lists to assist you. First, let's demonstrate how to copy one from the district template list. Click Copy from District Template. The screen will refresh and display all of the templates created in the district list. Use the plus sign next to the description to open a group to view the subjects that are included in the list. Click the minus sign to close it. To select a group, use the selector. The screen will refresh and show that the selected list is now added to your site. Any list or group no longer needed in your site can be removed by clicking the trash can. Click OK, and the list will be removed from your site list. To edit an existing list at the site level, click the Edit button, and the screen will refresh to display the description and the type of the list that you've already created. It will also display the selected subject and those available for selection. You may make any updates to the district list to meet the needs of the site, including changing it from a subject group to a subject list and removing or adding any subjects to the existing list. You may also create an original subject group or selection list for your site. Click Create New Group List. When the screen refreshes, it will display all available subjects for your site. Click the item, then click the Add button to move items from the available subject list to the selected subject list. When all items have been selected, select the type, subject group, or selection list, and enter a description that will help you in selecting this group from the list. This concludes our webinar. SIS K-12 training support can be found at our web portal documentation at sisk12.com under the Support tab and heading of Documentation. Quick sheets are continually updated as SIS K-12 evolves and grows. We suggest printing necessary sheets a day or two prior to each webinar or training session. Customer support for SIS district coordinators can be had via telephone at the number listed or email at sisk12help@tylertech.com. We thank you for your participation.